Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers, and this morning I'm looking at a book which we reviewed before. It's from the Legal Action Group, and it's a very important book indeed. It's one of the most important ones that we have from LAG. It's on housing law. It's an advisor's handbook, and it's written by Diane Astin, whom we have met. This is the book. Diane's done a tremendous amount of work to collate everything into what is an excellent book. You can see how big it is. It's growing and growing. That's the commentaries on the back of the book itself, but you can see from this that it is very much a detailed hands-on book. You see the index there, and then you get after that to the various points throughout the book. It runs to nearly 1,000 pages, believe it or not now. What we do have, of course, are the useful paragraph numbering at the sides, which you can see there, and also you've got a whole range of other important points. For instance, one that I do like is the contents page for each part of the each chapter of the book itself. Of course, you've got a huge amount of case law, which is listed there as well, and again what you do have are some very useful pointers. They are sort of in blocks and stand out, but these are the actual decisions of the main cases, and obviously the case law has changed so much that we've had to have a new book, a new edition, very quickly indeed. Let me just give an update. We've written obviously a review on the original book. There's Diane's cat, you can see in the photograph. We've written an original review, and this is actually a brand new review which looks at what she's done since the first book came out. We've given it the title Involved in Housing Law. Here's a complete housing law resource for professional advisors, and that's exactly what it is. You don't have to be a lawyer to read this. It does help, of course, because a lot of this is very much about the legal process. But I think, as you know, housing is a absolute fundamental need, and so you need a book of this nature, especially in the harsh economic climate we have today. So when things go wrong, few problems in the spectrum of civil law can cause more upheaval, unpleasantness and distress in this area of law in particular, and that's why there's so much case law, of course, in addition. The issues that frequently confront housing lawyers can be formidable, and if you're a practitioner in this field, therefore, you do need the second edition because it gives you an up-to-date picture of where we are at the moment with the actual decisions, the authorities. It's published, of course, by LAG, who are an admirable, dedicated and very thorough organisation with great expertise in this area alone. The author, who's a solicitor and lecturer, has brought special expertise to bear and years of experience in the task of producing this book. I know how much time she spent on the original book, and she's obviously been keeping very much in the knowledge of where we are today with the cases. Obviously there are implications now for things like the Localism Act of 2011, which has just come into force, and the Equality Act of 2010 since the previous edition. The latest case law as well covers the rights of EU nationals and the rights of children as well. So I think that is a useful commentary as to where we're going with some of the changes that we're now facing to legal aid budgets and the funding of civil litigation generally, which of course is highly controversial. As Diane points out, the fact that people will be unable to get help with their debt problems and their welfare benefit or employment issues is likely to lead to an increase in people facing the loss of their homes. Of course, that's the difficult problem, the conclusion. This may mean, she adds, that there will be a greater need for housing advice than ever, and this book is therefore dedicated to fulfilling that role, and she does that in a clear and accessible way in our view. It contains ample resources and there's a huge amount of information, but don't be afraid, because you're going to need some of that, because it's the attention to detail that can sometimes assist you in winning your case. The authors endeavoured to state the law in England and Wales as it was at the beginning of November 2011, and I'm recording this a couple of months later. Bearing in mind, obviously, there are some differences in the Welsh jurisdiction, but generally speaking, this is an admirable book, and thank you very much, Diane, for doing the new edition so quickly. We need this, and LAG, thank you so much as well for supporting it at a time when it's critical for us. Thanks so much. Bye bye.